to the shed. It's Friday night. We're back for week 4. We're still going strong, thankfully. And we have a special guest tonight.
As always.
Somebody that doesn't play for Derry City. Or ex-Derry City.
Ex-Derry City.
Sister club.
Sister club will not spoil.
We'll not reveal too much. Just like to thank everybody for their likes and retweets and shares and subscriptions on the channel. We have 160 subscribers, so if we get to 200, I'm going to give away a prize.
Happy days.
Don't know what it was, can't remember. Something anyway, something Subbuteo related. Thank you to Coverfield as usual. This is the last week of Coverfield's sponsor. This is week 4
of the fantastic Feyenoord.
The fantastic Feyenoord that he has kindly donated. As you can see there, lovely gift. So whoever gets the highest points this week, whoever's top of the league after this game week, wins that prize.
Oh.
So it's every 4 weeks. We've decided every four game weeks we'll pick out who's the highest score. So what we have coming up this week is game week 3, which was last week past in the fantasy football. Our interview, our guest, we'll talk some beers, we'll do what's in your box, match highlights, and Painter's Corner, and then of course we'll round it up with Ruby. Our little video diary from our superstar from London Road. So, first week, fantasy football. Big changes. Well, some big changes anyway. We have my favourite team name, Sporting a Beer Gut, has went top of the table.
Who's Sporting a Beer Gut?
Declan Dowling. He has scored 63 points, and he sits in 184 points.
Jesus, very good.
So he had Jamie Vardy 17 points, Danny Ings 9 points, Patrick Bamford 8 points, and Bruno Fernandes 12 points.
How many for Jamie Vardy?
It's 17.
Jesus.
And Son was his captain, and he only got him 2 points. So he went for Son, who scored 4 last week.
Very good.
But he got him from this week, and he only got 2.
Useless.
So second place stays the same. Chopper FC, Barry Spence, number 2.
How about Barry?
He had 45 points, so he's on 119. He is Harry Kane captain, Nathan Ake, Walker Peters, Dallas, and Trent Alexander-Arnold were all his big point scores. New mover in the number 3, Bugsy's Babes, D Malone. That's a playing bug. Busby's Babes.
Bugsy Malone.
I'm guessing he's a United supporter. So he is 55 points he got, and he's on 176. So he had Manny for captain, 14 points.
Very good.
Newcastle's Wilson for 8 points, and then he had a couple of clean sheets, which got him a high score. Highest points this week was our friend from down under, Kev Halliday.
Oh, very
our
good.
Painter's Corner. He had all his defenders and his goalkeeper all scored points, like over 6 or 7 points. With Mings 12 points, Robertson 10 points, Walker's Peter 6, and his keeper was Martinez.
Has he 6 points for saving goals?
He kept a clean sheet.
Oh, is that gets you
points. And then he had Vardy for his captain.
He was good.
So he done pretty well there. And he's at 73 points was his highest score, but he took a 28 point hit. I don't know what you done, Kev. I think you might have done what you'd done and
changed boys and
not used a wild card. So he's on 119 points in total. Last week's leader, Dahi Nolan.
Where'd he go?
He's dropped to 4th.
4th's not bad.
The Nolans are down. Not the Nolan sisters. Father and son, Nolans. So he only got 40 points this week, and he's on 173 in total. Derry City.
Upper City.
My pint, your pint.
My pint.
I've lost my pint. That's
my
pint. Drinking my pint.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Derry City's big score mover was Simon Stewart, Locomotive Lamb Shanks.
Where'd he go?
He got 60 points, and he moved up to 16th, and he's on 140 points. Out of the Derry mob, apart from Barry, who's up in second,
Yes.
you're 7th, 37 points.
Slipped down.
You brought in, I see you brought your big mucker back into your team.
The big man.
Adama Traore.
Traore.
He got you like 2 points.
Useless. Back here.
Who Craig has moved up to 22nd. He got 52 points.
Pretty good.
FK Duckla Prague. Myself, Neville Wars Prada,
Where are you sitting?
23rd. I'm up
Out of.
27.
Ooh.
Jude's off the bottom.
Jude's off the bottom.
Only because Oshin's joined the league.
Alright, Shane.
Oshin's in the league. So Jude is on 30. He got 36 points this week, and he's on 53. And Oshin on his first week into the league got 32 points.
He take no chocolate out English football, but actually.
He'll pick it up, no bar. So last week I says a couple of players I tipped. Calvin Lewin, put him in your team, and Richarlison, and they were both big scorers this weekend.
Did you put them in your team?
No. I put them in this week, but they're in. They're in for this week coming.
But this is the whole story. They do well this week. You put them on next week. Shit.
And Calvin Lewin got an England call up. If that's any good to you.
Don't know what that means.
Like picks for this week. If you're going to put anyone in your team this week, I would be having Patrick Bamford for Leeds. They're at home to City. Good chance City might be on a wee bit of a wobble after getting beat by Leicester on Sunday.
That's right. Ridiculous.
5. And
I thought you couldn't change, boys. Or you lost points.
You can change them if you want. You can change one every week. One free one every week.
Okay.
And if you don't use one transfer one week, you have 2 the following week, but it only doubles up. Doesn't go past that. Doesn't keep accumulating.
Okay.
So I had 2 free transfers this week because I never made any transfers last week.
Okay.
So I used 2. I brought
How
in.
many have I got?
You have. Did you make a transfer last week? Yes. You have 1 transfer this week free, or you can change your whole team for a wild card. Make sure you use wild card, or you're going to lose all your points.
Right. It's too complicated.
Right. So this week I'm saying Patrick Bamford and Bruno Fernandes. Because he'll take your penalties. No, he's Portuguese. Plays for Man United, and he'll take penalties. So
Man United are shite.
1 on Saturday. So
Who are they playing?
Brighton,
Shite.
and they beat Brighton then Tuesday night as well.
The same
Wednesday
day?
night. Wednesday night they beat them. No, in the cup.
Okay.
So that's another thing. We're going to run the cup games. We're going to run the cup game on game week 7. It's going to be the first cup game week. So it's going to be, there's 27 in the league. The top 5 get a playoff. Or the top 5 go into the next round of the cup. So the 22 from 6 downwards are going to be drawn out. So you'll play somebody on game week 7 and you just have to get a better point score than them to go into the next round of the cup. So there's about 4 or 5 rounds of the cup. So
Who do I play? How do you know who you're playing?
I'll draw it out of a hat. We'll do the draw here.
Alright, okay.
If we're not in lockdown, we could possibly be in lockdown next week. So we'll make it
Potentially
here.
lockdown for next week. Don't know how it's going to work.
I just have to sit in my shed and you'll have to sit here and we'll just not have a guest.
We'll look on it. We'll look on it. We'll look on it.
We'll do something. Anyway, that there is basically the fantasy football. Unless you want to know the fixtures of this week.
As regards to the Derry players, who would be top of that team?
Hey? Who's top of the Derry players?
Yes.
You? 7th? Told you you're 7th, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Is Barry not above me?
Out of the Derry players? Oh, Barry's 2nd. I thought you meant outside of Barry.
Alright.
Here we go. We're going to bring in our guest, like a brother to us.
He's a brother from another mother.
Brother from another mother. He's from our we call them our sister club.
Yep. Twinned.
London Road. It was our first foreign trip as a club.
Yep.
Best trip ever, from my eyes, is playing Subbuteo. The only trip.
Well,
apart from Belfast and stuff, but definitely best trip away I've ever had playing Subbuteo. So, Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one, the only, Mr. Kane Matthews
Whoa!
to the shed. Hello, Kane.
Yes, Kane.
You alright, fellas? How you doing? You alright?
Good,
All good, mate. How are you?
I'm good.
This is not your first trip to the shed, Kane.
First trip to where?
It's not. I'm saying it's not your first trip to the shed.
No, I've been to your shed before.
That's right.
I've won there, remember?
I do.
Do you remember? But
I don't really remember. I didn't write it down or anything.
Yeah, it was a 1-0, wasn't
It
it?
was a 1-0. A rotten 1-0 maybe, if I recall right.
It wasn't like the goal in Wolves, eh?
It wasn't a dirty goal, no. It wasn't a dirty goal from Wolves.
All goals are good, mate.
Yeah, I don't know.
every hole's a goal, as we used to say when we were kids.
Something like that.
So, Kane, you are from London Road. Have you brought us any special beers from Wales?
I've got no special beers from Wales. More Belgium.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
From the land of Vincent.
Vincent,
Vincent.
glory
Vincent.
be, the Vincent. You're on the
Yeah.
You're on the Stella tonight. You're gonna wreck the house then after you drink them.
No, quiet night, early night tonight, work tomorrow.
We're on different beers tonight. I'm on a Rockshore local beer made by Guinness, brewed in Ireland. What are you on?
I'm on a Coors.
That's a Coors Light.
Coors Light.
Coors Light from Canada. You might probably know that the only person that you'll probably understand this week is probably Kane, because nobody understands me and you.
Nobody understands us?
No, we talk too fast.
You must be used to it by now, Kane.
I just say, can you repeat that tonight?
That's
So-
alright.
Kane, tell us your introduction. How did you get into Subbuteo? Your Subbuteo story, basically.
Ooh, probably like most people, got a box set in 1974 as a 6-year-old for Christmas. It just was hooked from then, really. Probably didn't know what I was doing or how to play, and used to cause lots of rows between me and my brother, but hey ho, that's the game it is, isn't it?
And-
from then on, just always played it at home. Even in primary school, we had maybe 10 of us who'd play leagues at dinner time and things like that. So we just something I always did.
Yous are sort of blessed over in the UK or in Wales, and yous are blessed that yous are like it stayed alive longer in the UK than it did in Ireland. Sort of faded away pretty early in Ireland.
Aye.
Well, I probably only played till 1985, and then I hadn't played until 4 years ago.
Same as ourselves.
4 years.
And so, well, Derry and London Road both started virtually within the same month without any of us knowing, didn't we?
That's right.
That's right, yeah.
Aye. And we hooked up not long after.
And we're still here, hanging on in as you do.
Yeah. Hanging by a thread. Sometimes, some points came, eh?
Well, it's not always easy as people think, but
And I have to.
It's like our event on Sunday, obviously, it's now with the new restrictions, is cancelled, so we're just back in limbo, waiting to see when we can start up again.
I must before like you might know, this is Kane. This is the father of Ruby that does the wee video diary. We always speak very highly of Ruby every week on the show, so you must be really proud of like how far she's came along in 4 years.
I thought she might play for a month or two and give up, and she's just always carried on and on. I never thought she'd beat me until she was 15, and she's beaten me several times already, so there you go. And
She's beating
she
everybody.
just seems to want to carry on, and she learns and doesn't get phased, and there you go. She
Fair-
puts a lot of us to shame, eh?
Fair
does,
play,
she does.
dear, and it's a big big bit of respect to you for teaching her basically, and everybody in your club and everybody in Liverpool club that's supported her, and
Well, we've had, obviously, she's had lots of help from Brian Daly, and,
yeah.
and obviously lots of people in the club, and even visitors, and when we've gone to events, there's lots of people who helpful, and want to see her do well, but she's got to prove them right, and
She has been so far.
you know what I mean. She can play.
Can definitely play. What would you say yourself would be your biggest achievement in Subbuteo?
Ooh. Back in the early 80s, I was North Wales champion for a few years.
Up again.
Made a final in Cardiff once back in the 80s, but lost. But even now, the main thing is just having a club going, having more people playing, and players come and go, but we still seem to keep pretty healthy numbers.
You have to be quite proud of getting the club going in the first place, Kane. You know, you've made quite a name for yourself in England and Scotland, you know, in the UK.
Well, there's players about, and there's clubs who've been about a lot longer than we have, and how they've kept it going is amazing. To keep a group of people attending certain places at certain times and having the equipment, the pitches, it's not always easy.
No, it does not.
As I'm sure you know.
I liked your analogy, Kane, that you were the bus driver. You had to get the boys on the bus and keep the bus going.
Well, as long as there's a bus driver, there's passengers, isn't there?
That's right, good man.
You don't have a bus, you don't get the passengers.
Right.
It's definitely a good analogy. I like it.
I know. And we loved when we came over to you and played in the Parrot. We loved that. It was a great venue, great tables. The tables were a cut above.
Well, as you say, we always use Extreme Works pitches and goals, and we've got a set of decent tables, but even they're getting old now. They're getting on for 4 years old, and they've seen lots and lots of action, and they've been in and out of cars, and times it's raining, and it's not always the best time to be moving pitches around, but that's how it goes, isn't it?
That's just exactly sure. We know the story. It's the same tale over here, Ken.
Well, I'm sure you get as much rain as we do.
Ireland's not green for no reason.
Well, this is it. Wales is green as well.
So, Kane, when you first seen a bunch of Irish lads arrive, you picked us up from the airport on that Friday night when we arrived at Liverpool. You must have thought, right, what have I got myself into here?
Well, the strangest bit is we all went to get in the car, and I won't mention any names, but he was too busy going to get more fags.
And then we get...
But I'd already got you a crate of lagers to get when you got back to the hotel, hadn't I?
Yeah, you'd looked after us. And I definitely think the location was perfect for a bunch of Irish lads looking to play Subbuteo and getting pissed up.
Pissed up in the pub.
No, it was a very good, successful weekend, and we've since obviously been over to Derry for the second leg, and we've had the third leg at Wolves.
That's right.
And then obviously we should have been playing in Glasgow this month, I think.
Should have been,
originally. But that all got cancelled, and hopefully we can get our full teams up and running again in the event early sometime next year. Maybe we'll have to speak to Tom at Glasgow about it.
I think we'll have to just forget about 2020.
Yeah, it's not going to happen this year.
It's not going to
that's
happen
for sure.
this year.
Definitely not. So, need to ask you, this is a wee part we've introduced the last few weeks. We call it What's in Your Box.
What's in your box?
What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
So, could you show us what is in your Subbuteo box?
If I open up my box.
It's not dirty. It's nothing dirty.
Oh, what do we get? I'm not going to tip it up.
No, don't
there
tip
you go,
it up.
Subbuteo box.
Oh,
What comes in the box?
is this one of the new bad boy boxes?
Yeah, let me go. Getting tangled up in my headphones.
Yeah.
So you have a timer, don't you? Everyone needs a timer.
London Road timer, love it.
Yeah. Polishing cloth.
Oh, London Road polishing cloth.
Make sure you get the club name and all in, yeah.
Lovely.
So something like that. And then obviously you have a keeper. I can't get him on screen. There we.
Well, we see him in the video. And
Well, there you go, big
There
red.
we go.
Oh,
My Cat 3 keeper from my Subbuteo.
He's saved a few shots, that boy.
What's
I'm
that?
saying he looks like he's saved a few shots.
Yeah, he's probably been man of the match a few times,
Yeah.
but that has more to say about how good I am at defending, doesn't it?
He kept you alive
At this
against
point in
me.
time, my 2 teams I'm using at this point in time in my box here, can I get him on the screen? There you go, so I've got me pink Arrows 2 heavyweights with Juventus on.
Lovely.
And if my pink team clash,
Okay.
I always have my white Arrows 2 heavyweight with Peru away on them.
Hooray away, very nice.
very nice, very nice.
Who's done?
I thought you were going to produce Uruguay. I always remember you playing with Uruguay.
Yeah, well, I've still got Uruguay and Colombia.
Yes, that's right.
I'm using a 2-team box, and they're the 2 teams I'm using at the minute.
Who's done that? They're quite swanky looking players there, Kane. Who's done them for you?
Eddie did the players for the Peru.
Oh, Eddie Cahill.
Eddie Cahill, yeah, and
Good guy, Eddie.
nice lad, good lad. Great quality as well. And then
Juventus.
The Juventus are just a team that is all supplied by Thatcher, so I'm not quite sure who does the decals on them, but they're always high quality.
So is that where you get your bases from? Tasha 4, is it? Or?
Yeah, I've been playing on Arrows 2 heavyweights for the last 2 years. On Arrows 1, so not much of a change in probably the last 3 years. But it's you might change colours or want a new team, but I'm not really into changing bases on a regular basis. If that makes sense.
I always think you're better getting a base that you like and you're used to and sticking with them. I think.
Well, this is it, but I'm quite anal. If I had to change a base, I'd have to have 2 separate teams on exactly the same bases. So it's not just a case of, I might change and use that. You've got to get 2 sets, haven't you? And I can't see a set of bases that are going to make me a better player overnight.
Nah, you need your home and away, but you need to be used to what you're playing with.
Well, exactly. That's why I like them both being the same sets. Because they both play exactly the same.
Very good, very nice.
So Kane, you don't do any painting, do you, yourself? Team painting?
No,
You've never tried the painting?
No, I don't do any of that. Never
But
have.
you do make your own tables, don't you?
Yes. Obviously, all the club's tables I've built, and they're in solid oak surrounds. Most people have said they're good tables to play on, so...
Tables are brilliant. Bespoke Subbuteo tables, isn't that it?
That's it, yeah. We do private orders if anyone wants to order one.
We'll put a wee link up for you. We'll share your page for sure and photos and
the link's on the screen.
the links on the screen as you speak. So anybody that's in the area, you deliver, or I'm sure you deliver to you, or is it collection?
Oh yeah, I've posted tables around the UK, and but it's not something. They're just custom tables. It's not even something I push much, but obviously I always make the club tables, so
yeah,
I can make them for the club. They're available if anyone else wants one.
They are beautiful tables, what they say. They are beautiful, beautiful tables.
If anyone orders a table from you and they use the code Derry City Table Football Club, we'll get a wee discount, won't we? Commission.
I'm sure we could sort something out, Lawrence.
We'll sort commission out. Well, Kane, I think that's everything. I think we've covered all our questions tonight. Anything you'd like to add, is there? You'd like to?
No, it'd just be obviously be better if we could all be more active playing Subbuteo, but some things are more important, and I'm lucky because I've always got me and Ruby in the house, so I've always got a game, haven't I?
You've always got a good challenging game in front of you.
Well, it's not something you can take easily. If you do, she'll punish you.
She will. I actually just seen popped up on Facebook the other day. The anniversary of the day Ruby beat Brian Daly, sorry.
Yeah, it did happen. I was there. It was, to be fair, it was a 10-minute game, and goalkeeper was probably man of the match, and
Doesn't
the
matter.
goalkeeper had kept it to 0-0. There was 10 seconds to go. A gap that none of us thought a base could get through, and from her own defensive line, she took a flick and it went through the gap and it hit the ball and the ball went in.
Magic.
And I looked at Brian and I said, "You weren't even holding your keeper." And he said, "What would I need to hold my keeper for?" The gap. We don't know what happened because it never touched any players. We don't know if it just went slightly up on its side and just literally went through a gap with 0.2 of a mil either side, and
Excellent.
yeah, if you do that on a regular basis, you'd be very frightening.
Hey, it's no mean feat beating Daly, is it?
No, it's not many bits. I've done it twice in 4 years. So it's not something that happens often, and there's been lots of 10 pluses defeats in that.
He's a bastard.
We all love a 10-0 defeat, so would it?
Oh yeah, they're cracking, aren't they?
Yeah, we Brian the bastard Daly.
Oh, now hold on. You're gonna get us in trouble. You still haven't apologised for calling Sven Dirty Sven.
Dirty Sven.
You can't say things like that.
Brian's alright.
We'll get Brian on some week.
We'll get Brian on. I'm sure Brian would revel in being called Brian the bastard Daly.
Brian, we'll try and
I'm sure he'd give you a good discussion over it.
we'll try and cut this, Brian. I'm sorry. I'm just like I can't control him.
Me and Brian's like that.
You hope after tonight.
You have to get him on in a couple of weeks, won't you, and you can have a discussion.
We will. I
We'll
must get him on. Brian, I actually just when my father passed away, Brian was really great, very, very supportive when I was sending me texts and stuff, because he had been through it himself, hadn't he? So yes, I like Brian.
All
Brian.
jokes aside, Brian's a gentleman.
Nice
He
guy.
really is.
And he brought us home from
He brought
London
us
Road.
home, and I know Brian. Brian enjoys the crack.
I might have picked you up, he dropped you off.
He dropped us off, aye.
Good guy, good Liverpool guy.
I enjoy the crack with Brian. We must get him on. We'll have to have him on a couple of weeks, is right. And he'll be a Liverpool. He'll be a Liverpool man now, but he's not London Road. Oh, he still is London Road, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, Kane, all I can do is thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
That's no problem, fella.
I'll let you get away. Obviously, it's Friday night and you've family commitments and you want to get away to spend time with Ruby and your wife. Isn't that right?
Yeah. So, when I'm not playing Subbuteo, I'm a normally family man, you know what I mean? I have these things like wives and children and
A wag? You have a wag?
grandchildren and
That's right. Granda Kane.
Granda Kane.
yes.
You wouldn't think of it to look at you.
Oh no, I look far too young, don't I?
Fresh as a daisy. The lighting's very kind to you.
I'm sure it's not.
Kane, a pleasure as always.
Thank
Nice
you,
one,
man.
fellas.
And
And I'll speak to you soon.
You will, and you'll be back over someday, and you know there's always a room at the inn here.
I know it was great when we came last time. I'm sure we'll do it all again soon.
We will do. Kane, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Speak
Ken.
to you both soon, fellas.
Speak to you soon, man.
Chat soon, mate.
Bye-bye.
Laters.
Good luck. Alright, goodbye.
Jill.
So that was Kane.
Kane,
Kanye,
Kanye.
as we like to call him. What do you think? I enjoyed that. It's good to get somebody else that's not involved with Derry City.
It's good to have Kane because, like he says, they started almost the exact same time as we started, and we were very quick to link in with them.
And what I was saying about the UK and Ireland having a bigger fan, like obviously it's a bigger country, but you can see how more they've developed numbers wise than us.
Bigger numbers,
Bigger
far bigger
numbers,
numbers.
they're getting
More
bigger
clubs.
numbers.
We're stuck over here that we only have ourselves really,
restricted.
and the scatterings of people.
There's nobody else. Like there's no other club really. Like there's us and that's it. And this week we have no match. There's no point in me and Martin beating the tripe out of each other every week.
Well, there is
6
but
and 7
there
goal
is.
matches. Nobody wants to see that every week. So
Everybody wants to see that every week. Everybody wants to see this at the end.
well,
You know what I mean?
what can you do? We'll get the wee graphics in some other week.
This week we have a classic
Classic.
highlights this week from the 2017 Summer Cup, Derry City Summer Cup. Here comes the Summer Cup.
This is like when
2017.
lockdown happened this year and there was no match of the day, so they just started playing classic matches.
Classic matches.
So
This is what
we're
have
showing
now.
you a classic match this week.
Featuring some stunning goals, I must say, by Kenny the legend. Kenny the legend Biggs.
So here goes. Have a wee look. It's a 4-minute odd video. Don't be skipping it. Just watch it. Check it out.
Baby, baby, what can I do? You know you drive me crazy when I'm looking at you. The summer's really here and it's time to come out. Time to discover what fun is about. Here comes the summer. Here comes the summer. Here comes the summer. Keep the looking for the girls with the faces all planned. Who land on the beaches all covered in sand. Stretching out the long legs, lying in the sun. Playing on the beautiful, having fun. Here comes the summer. 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 Looking for the girls with the faces all planned. The land on the beach is all covered in sand. Stretching out the long legs, lying in the sun. Playing on the beautiful, having fun. Here comes the summer. 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 Here comes the summer.
See what I mean? You lost your.
Oh, was that
Save? I thought it was in, but.
Did you?
Lost Kenny, ah.
Dirty.
Dirty cheating Kenny bags. It's all comes out. Ah!
He's away. Paul McStay. Paul McStay. I got him in bottom left hand corner.
Good goal. Got it.
Offside. Yes. You're up.
Take off your jumper then.
Oh, good goal.
Oh. Oh.
Now I've got a cousin called Kevin.
Some great action there, wasn't there?
Some good action.
I must point out now, like your father was a great member of the club, and he retired. He retired at the top. You took advantage of your dad a few times. there.
No, there's no
You
advantage.
did.
No advantage
You were-
to be taken.
The man
No
couldn't even
advantage
get
to
to
be
his
taken.
fucking keeper. He was trying to get around the net, and you were fucking booting him in the empty
Listen,
nets.
that man's of an age, but he's sprightly. He's at the gym more than you or me.
Well,
He's on the bicycle every day.
you took advantage of your dad. You go easy on your dad.
Easy on nobody. Go easy on nobody.
Leave in the comments what you think of Martin abusing his old dad. And he's only turned 70 the other day, and he's fucking battering him.
That was 3 years ago.
3 years ago, he was
He's
67.
only 67. He's a young man.
Still.
Young man.
And Kenny Beggs, I know every goal was Kenny Beggs, but
Kenny Beggs.
what can you do? The man scores 10 a match. I think the biggest, the biggest, what would you call him? Scalp of the whole thing. It was mostly Craig was getting them battered in against him.
Craig got whapped by Kenny, but Kenny was unfortunate on a few occasions. Bar.
One on the leg.
Couple of saves, but you know when Kenny's hitting the bar, he's hitting the back of the net every other one. So.
And might I just say, I had a lovely goal in there. It rattled in off the crossbar. If anyone's seen it, I think it was like a yellow tango. Boom, boom, hit all the.
Actually, I think that if we look back on that video, you'll notice that was offside. It was clear offside. From a corner, ball had stopped.
Nice.
He flicked. Bit of backspin on the ball. In the net. Nice goal.
Stood, but so.
Well, we'll say nothing.
Figure out that. Anyway, hopefully get a wee game next week if we're not in fucking total absolute shitty lockdown. This week it's time for Painter's Corner.
Painter's Corner.
And we have a special guest this Painter's Corner. And he can talk you through it himself because he's here in the room today. It's our very own Martin Bradley. Hey! Wee painter himself. He has painted this lovely 1950s Derry City football club for a birthday present for his father because he's fucking too cheap to buy him a proper present. So his dad's 70 and he painted him a wee team and fobbed them off that there.
Quite the present. Custom,
It is quite the
custom
present.
box.
Lovely, lovely, lovely team. As you
good
can see from the photos, lovely long shorts and
15 hours worth of painting.
brown boots and moustaches and the players. So he's been picking up detail. I think he's been watching these videos back and seeing all our wee Painter's Corners, and that's where he's got it from.
All
Jesus,
my,
man.
all my painting tips, all my painting tips come from Westwood Table Soccer. Well, they joking. What's he?
You made your bed, you made lying.
What's he?
You've made your bed. There you go, Callum. Take him. Take him. He wants you.
What's he's fixed up all my mistakes in the past. Comes over, points out what I'm doing wrong. Gives me tips.
Shovel. Is there a
gives me
shovel?
advice,
Is there a
gives me
shovel in
advice.
here? No, there is a shovel somewhere.
Alright, Callum.
Must get it for you. So I don't know. You don't have you have a Twitter handling, don't you? There's your Twitter handling. If anybody wants to follow him, you do orders for you. He's cheap.
It's cheap.
He's easy paid.
I'm easy paid. You take what you get.
You're a lot cheaper than me, so give him a shout if you want a wee cheap team.
Cheeky fucker.
Bargain basement. So you can go up to like the top
If
end.
I charged by the hour, you'd fucking soon know what you were in for.
You can go to the top end of the scales like myself and Callum and all these guys, or you can sort of come down like it's like going
Callum is good.
it's like
Callum
going to
is good,
Mercedes.
alright.
It's like going to
Callum is
Mercedes,
good.
and then you
Callum
can
is good.
nip round the corner to like Peugeot. Get yourself a wee Peugeot.
Fuck all wrong with Peugeot.
No, I'm wrong with Peugeots either.
Fuck all wrong
Jesus,
with
I'm to set
Peugeot.
myself up here for abuse. Right, we're going to revisit an old painter's corner
There we
from
go.
about 2 weeks ago. I think he was maybe 3 weeks ago. He is Kits for Flicks. He is.
Perfect.
Yes, we done him a couple of weeks ago. He done lovely teams a couple of weeks ago. So this week he has done a lovely Napoli.
Lovely.
He has done a rather beautiful Juventus.
Beautiful.
He has done a lovely Roma.
I like it.
You like that?
I like it.
That's nice. And what do you think about this one?
Oof.
Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Hey.
Sampdoria. There you go.
Fantastic. Look great.
We're lucky to have the green screen in front of us here, so everything pops up as I talk about it. And of course, we'll obviously have to cover our sponsor, who so very kindly, this is the last week of the sponsor from Cowerfield, and he has sponsored us with Vanord. And like I said before, he's got a beautiful CCCCP,
Okay, Russia.
the Soviet Union.
I have to say, I can't stop looking at this team, and
You're a lot of points away from winning
I'm a
it.
lot of points away, and I'm fucking disgusted because
So at the minute,
the actual.
Sporting a Beer Gut is in with winning it this week.
I'm going
if
to
he
take
stays
one
top.
out. Sporting me beer gut. I'm manhandling your team here because
Oh, he's trying to put the blight. He's trying to put the scud on you, so you don't win it.
they're fucking fantastic. You see a lot of. these
Boxing
teams.
comics, nah.
See a lot of these teams painted. If you're on Facebook or Twitter or any of them, you do see a lot of the older heavyweight Subbuteo teams painted. Quality varies up and down, but I mean, you would think a machine painted this.
I know it is beautiful. The line's perfect.
The lines are absolutely perfect.
What I will add in is I'm gonna cut in a wee bit just on Cower, not on Cowerfield, but I'm doing a collaboration with Subbuteo Collector. So he bought an old Celtic team, heavyweights.
Okay.
So I says I would take them off him, paint them, and send them back to him. So I took them off him. He sent them to me. There was only 7 in the box and a keeper.
Okay.
They were all really badly glued in. So my plan was to take them apart. He had buy the remaining 10 bases and put the team together, send it back to him. But the team was just a shambles. So I ended up buying the exact same reference C030, I think it was. But they had a green base, so I've redone them and they're going to him. I can't show you the photo because we're going to release a wee video together.
Okay.
But what I would say about painting them, and it just shows you how good Cowerfield is and how good Callum is at Westwood Table Soccer. They are a fucking nightmare to paint. They're like every shape. They're like big fat necks. Their jerseys are like fucking 10 million wrinkles in them. They get a straight line in one of them. Like I had to do hoops, so that big respect to anybody that paints heavyweights. I'll not be painting a heavyweight team again after this.
The lines in these are unbelievable.
I'll not be painting.
I'm only
heavyweights
just
again.
noticing the kicking, the kick out keeper as well.
Aye.
The flicking keeper as well. It's just,
Cracker.
it's cracker.
So
well, Jill, whoever comes top.
whoever
of the
gets that's getting a good beat praise. So thank you, Cowerfield. Really appreciate what you done for us. You didn't have to do it. You sent us a team. Like everybody is going to sponsor over the next couple of weeks. Nobody had to give us anything for free. But you did. So thank you. And if
Thank you
anybody
very
else wants there's plenty of weeks left. So hopefully somebody good wins it. So we're going to wrap up. And as always, we'll wrap up with
Ruby.
Hi Lawrence, today I'm going to be showing you inside my Subbuteo box. So I have 2 teams that I use, Liverpool and Juventus. I've had my Juventus for about 2 years. I use my Subbuteo polish and a cloth with my name on it. I have this shooting wall as well, which I use to do shooting practice, which Brian Daly made. And then I have a personalised Subbuteo box, which I think the box is called Bad Boy boxes, which Brian Daly has made. I use a My Subbuteo ball, just plain, and a star one, which I had a couple of years ago from Cardiff. And then I have a pink Subbuteo, of course, and I use a timer for all my games, and I usually play about 15 minutes. That's all inside my Subbuteo box. Bye.
Brilliant, Ruby. As always,
Our star.
our wee star.
I feel like we actually have a bit of Ruby as part of our
The
club.
owner.
Because she's our sister, part of our sister club.
And it was nice.
She's like a niece. She's like a
Nice.
very nice.
Nice to have her dad on today and keeping it London Road. So
Keep it London Road.
nice. It's a London Road Derry City collaboration this week. So keep following us, and hopefully next week we have somebody else here, and we're not separated by.
We
Lockdown.
may well be locked down.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Boo to
I think we'll
lockdown.
be locked down.
But if
We'll
we do,
work something out.
if we are in lockdown and by chance we come here, don't tout on us, because we'll get fined. Like, don't report us or anything like that.
Touts out. Snitches get stitches. Is a
It just
similar way
gets
to say it.
stitches.
Over here they would say touts out.
Touts out. So keep following, keep liking, subscribing, retweeting, whatever you have to frickin' do. Till we get the 200 subscribers, and then we'll give away a prize. Once we get the 200, we'll give away a prize.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell. Right, thank you very much. It's been a good week as always, and I love doing these. Martin, thank you. Maybe might and see you again for a couple of weeks. So
Could be months.
this pump might be the final one.
Oh, should have been a
Back off your elbows and that elbow. Next person tries to elbow me is going to an elbow in the bottom
getting
face.
elbowed.
Fuck's
Right.
sake. Right, thanks very much, and see you all again next week. We don't know what surroundings. Cheers.
Bye, bye, bye.